First they came for the socialists. I did not speak out. I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out. I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. I did not speak out. I was not a Jew. Then they came for me. But there was no one left to speak for me.
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act.
So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me f***ed up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough.
What we experienced last year was a national emergency that threatened the security of Canadians. Our job as a government is always to keep people safe, and invoking the Emergencies Act was the necessary thing to do to remove the threat and to protect people.
I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up.
Saying, I have concluded that the decision to issue the proclamation, that would be the invoking of the Emergencies Act, does not bear the hallmarks of reasonableness, justification, transparency, and intelligibility, and was not justified in relation to the relevant factual and legal constraints that were required to be taken into consideration.
Bad news for Justin Trudeau. A Canadian federal judge has ruled that Trudeau's controversial use of the Emergencies Act during the 2022 Freedom Convoy trucker protests in Canada was, quote, unreasonable and unjustified.
Well, a judge ruled today that the Liberal government's use of the Emergencies Act 2 years ago was unreasonable. However, the government is appealing the decision, saying it was within charter rights to use the act to clear so-called Freedom Convoy protesters from Ottawa in 2022.
When invoking emergency powers is found unjustified or when the use of emergency acts is deemed inappropriate, it can have various consequences, depending on the legal and political context of the jurisdiction. There can be significant political consequences for the authorities that declared the emergency. Public opinion may turn against the government or individuals responsible for the decision, leading to a loss of trust and support. If the emergency declaration is seen as an abuse of power or a violation of human rights, it may lead to international condemnation. Other countries, international organizations, and human rights bodies may express concern or take diplomatic measures in response. If specific individuals are found responsible for an unjustified invocation of emergency powers, they may face legal consequences, disciplinary actions, or even resignations. This could include political leaders, government officials, or those in positions of authority. Unjustified use of emergency powers can lead to public discontent and protests. Citizens may express their dissatisfaction through demonstrations, rallies, or other forms of collective action demanding accountability. The aftermath of an unjustified use of emergency powers may prompt a re-evaluation of existing laws and procedures. Legislative bodies might consider reforms to prevent similar misuse in the future. On October 16, 1970, Pierre Trudeau invoked the War Measures Act, which suspended basic civil rights and liberties. It allowed police searches and arrests without warrants, and prolonged detentions without charges and without the right to see a lawyer. It was the first time in Canadian history the act was used during peacetime. In 1988, the War Measures Act was repealed and replaced by the Emergencies Act. It created more limited and specific powers for the government to deal with security emergencies. It's essential for a transparent and accountable system to be in place to review the necessity and appropriateness of emergency declarations. The rule of law and respect for constitutional principles are crucial in maintaining public trust and safeguarding democratic institutions. Voting solely based on party affiliation, without considering the specific qualifications, policies, and character of individual candidates, can pose several dangers to a democratic system. Voting along party lines without considering the merits of individual candidates may lead to uninformed decision-making. Voters may not be aware of the qualifications, experience, or policy positions of the candidates they support. Candidates may become less accountable for their actions if they can rely on party loyalty alone to secure votes. This lack of accountability can contribute to ineffective governance and a disconnect between elected officials and their constituents. Over-reliance on party affiliation can contribute to political polarization. Voters may become entrenched in partisan thinking, leading to a more divided and adversarial political climate where compromise and cooperation are challenging. Blind loyalty to a party can foster a mentality of groupthink, where individuals conform to the party's ideology without critical evaluation. This can stifle independent thinking and diverse perspectives within a society. We need unity, not division. We need to press more for truth and have policies that help and promote growth of Canada. We need to fix poverty and drug abuse here before telling others how they should run their countries. We need a government with integrity, leaders who won't allow corporations and unions to finance policies that suit their financial needs. Most of all, government needs to be held accountable. Martin Niemöller's words should ring out to us all. When the government is taking the rights or freedoms of those you oppose, it's of no matter. But, to those affected, it hurts. Eventually, the freedoms taken will affect you. You may not care that a hunter must hand over their firearms, but maybe you'll care when the green agenda prevents you from travel. Mandates preventing attending a movie, concert, or dinner, costs you your job or prevents you from attending school or college, from visiting family and friends are draconian. Some seniors spent their last days alone, nobody at their side. We can't encourage mandates like these, and they must be questioned. The convoy was the result of overreach and a symbol of solidarity. Trudeau knew it was coming, what it represented, and his reaction was insult and ridicule. Rather than confront, speak, and understand the frustration, he used the Emergency Act to crush dissent. I'm confused as to how people ridicule the protest and what it stood for. The convoy represented everyone's rights and freedoms. Perhaps one day those who cheered the crushing of protest will find themselves with their accounts frozen, jailed, or pepper-sprayed in the streets for not bowing to oppression. Now that we know the Emergency Act wasn't justified, we need accountability and justice to prevent it from happening again.
I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.